Chuck, you and I think are going to talk tomorrow morning at 8:45, so that's
Yep.
my reward.
Oh, all right.
That's
Okay.
my reward. I've got that
Okay.
figured out already. We're good.
Okay.
No, we're good. I mean, we're just in the middle of a house remodel here, and we're putting everything in order, and we're being conscientious of spending. And so we've got a whole tally on that, and Chuck's been very nice helping us organize that finances, and we're actually having more money at the end of the month, so that's a good thing.
There you go.
That is always a good thing.
It's it.
Always a good thing.
Dave, how's your business doing?
It's doing pretty good, kind of ebbs and flows so far this year. We're beating last year pretty handily.
Good.
What I'm always looking for is marketing ideas, lead generation, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Getting about 50% of my leads from organic internet, Google search, that sort of thing, pay-per-click, and about 50% from referrals.
Okay.
So I'm working diligently to build my network, but looking for any ideas that people have that are unique and can differentiate me in either networking or just marketing in general.
We got Jim in. Good morning, Jim. Can you hear us? Thumbs up. You're muted. There you go. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Jim.
We're just going a little round to table. Chuck just was asking a couple questions, and because so I'll turn it over back to Chuck, and we'll.
Okay. Well, we'll get started here. Everybody here has been here before, so you know what we're all about. The concept of helping our members become less busy, more effective, and make more money. And Diana, you just mentioned that you had the happy result of having more money in the bank account at the end of the month than you had to spend. So that's always the ultimate goal. So what I want to talk about today is I just want to share with you an article that was forwarded to me by Bob Paulus, who's my associate in the finance business. And I found it very interesting. And so all of my coaching clients hear me say this: if you're not where you want to be, it's always going to be because of one of three reasons: something you don't know, something you're doing you shouldn't be doing, or something you could be doing that you're not. Everybody's heard me say that. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I'll bet you don't know. And then I'm not going to tell you what to do with the information, but I think you're going to be reassured when you know it. And I think it will affect the decisions you make going forward as they relate to COVID, which has dominated our lives for the last 12 months. So I thought it was important that you know this. Now I'm going to read it to you word for word as it was sent to me, as it was sent to my partner, Bob. So I'm not going to I'm not editing anything out, and I'm not adding anything to it. Old-fashioned journalism, if you will. Not trying to. So I just want you to have this information and then to consider it, and then I'll make a comment at the end about my reaction to it. Here it is. I'll begin reading now. I find these numbers interesting. As reported by the CDC, here are the deaths year by year and the change from the previous year. In 2017, 2,818,503 Americans died. In 2018, 2,839,205 deaths, 20,702 more than the previous year in 2017. In 2019, 2,855,000 deaths, 16,300 more than the previous year. Now the year of the pandemic, 2020, 2,913,144 deaths reported by the CDC, 57,641 more than the previous year in 2019. But wait, there were 0 deaths from COVID during 2018 and 2019. And the jump from 2019 was only 57,641. We've been told that COVID is responsible now for over 400,000 deaths. Shouldn't the 2020 number be a lot higher? So the question becomes, how many people died of COVID and how many died of other causes with COVID? Food for thought. Again, I'm reading, not opinionizing here or editorializing. A very well orchestrated plan or an unimaginable set of events that just fell into place. With the United States front and center, you tell me, scare people with a virus, force them to wear masks and place them in quarantine, count the number of dead every second of every day in every news headline. By the way, approximately 99 out of every 100 people who get the virus recover. About 1% who get the virus die. Most of them have other medical problems. Did you catch that? 1% die. Close businesses, 35 million people instantly unemployed. Remove entertainment and prohibit recreation. Close parks, gyms, bars, restaurants, sports. No dating, no touching, isolate people, dehumanize them. Close temples and churches, prohibit worship. Create a vacuum and let depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and desperation set in. Empty the prisons because of the virus and fill the streets with criminals. Send Antifa and BLM to vandalize property as if they are freedom fighters, undermine the law. Riot, loot, attack law enforcement, but tell government to order a stand down. Then defund law enforcement and abolish police. We are all being played by those who want to destroy America. This is how you destroy a nation, from within and in very short order. Will it work? I guess that depends on you and me. I did not write this, but it needs to be shared. I just did. Your turn. Now that you know the actual numbers from the CDC, you can draw your own conclusion about how to react, what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but now you know. And your decision as to how you will react will be a better quality decision, not based on fear or lack of information. So 57,000 more deaths in 2020, not 400,000. We are
It's
being
interesting, Chuck.
What's that?
I was just saying that's interesting. I've been drilling down on that exact same thing for the last 6 months.
Okay.
Not just nationwide, but also in the state of Wisconsin. Overall deaths, because you
Okay.
hear, you've been hearing that the numbers were inflated. Well, there's one number that should reflect it if there are all those extra deaths, and that's the number of total deaths.
Yeah.
And I came to the same conclusion. It's interesting. It's really hard to find those numbers online. You got to really dig.
Yeah.
You think that stuff would be out there readily available, but I had to really dig and research to find it.
No, the people who have the agenda of wanting to undermine life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are keeping the information suppressed. And that's so part of the value that I hope we bring to our members is that we get you the information, how to become less busy, more effective, make more money. One of the ways is not to be so afraid. It's amazing how fear drives the activities and the mindset of a majority of the population in this country. Fear. And I'm not saying that COVID is brutal, but to make everybody afraid as if and I have some people within an arm's length of me, not in my immediate family, but just beyond that, friends. Justin Johnson's father died of COVID. Several of my clients have relatives that died of COVID. So it's real, but death is real. And the question is not the issue is not to blow it out of proportion to the point where it immobilizes you from being all that you were meant to be in the midst of whatever you're in the midst of. We are all here today because our ancestors were survivors, not snowflakes. They were survivors. And you've heard me say this before. If this country survives, it will be because of the spirit of the entrepreneur, people like you, who will not let others think for them, but are willing to step out, make their own decisions, certainly operate with the best intentions and honorable objectives. And I just thought that if you knew this stuff, you might be encouraged to believe that, to realize that there's less to fear than we are being told. So I'm old. I have underlying conditions. So I don't get into crowds. I wear a mask when I'm in a situation where I feel I need to, and wash my hands a lot and use disinfectant a lot, and all of those kinds of things. I'm not oblivious to the risk to somebody my age, but I like to be able to put it into perspective, and I hope this helped you do that. So now it's my pleasure to turn this meeting over to Tom Ginn, who's going to talk about marketing, which is the secret to making more money. If you are going to use your business as a mechanism for delivering value to other people, it's important that you message them and that you message the right people. And that's what Tom is going to talk about today. So everybody knows Tom. I would like to publicly thank him for his interest in EIB and his dedicated efforts to make this group better. Tom Ginn, go ahead.
Thanks, Chuck. Thumbs up, everybody, if you can hear me. This is going to be an interactive. So at some point, I'm going to be asking questions. You're going to be free to answer in this. Today, it's just an awareness of what's going on in marketing and evaluate what you're currently doing so that you can take advantage of the new normal. What has happened in the past is history. How you market, how you put yourself in the marketplace, you have to adapt. And I'm going to just share some concepts with you today. I was introduced to these concepts through some very significant business leaders in the country. So this isn't coming from anything that I've created. I'm just following those that are most successful in business today and what they're using and how they're using the principles I'm going to share today. A little bit of background about myself. My wife, name of my company is a Duco Group. I have 6 business entities within it, my wife and I. And people say, well, how do you do that? Well, it's a lot of things that we do. They run parallel. But what I have found out, you can run multiple businesses by understanding how to message yourself and keep things streamlined. So what I'm going to be sharing today is that EIB has been a great resource for myself. When I first got involved with Chuck, some of the people he had coming in and introductions to new concepts, new ideas, new ways to do business has dramatically shifted my thinking. And through that process, I've had various degrees of success, most of it on the upside. The downside is because it was my own doing, not with any new information. So EIB has been a very, very resourceful platform for myself, and I know other people as well. And I thank Chuck for that. Jim, what industry are you in?
Me?
Yeah.
You name it. I mean, I basically act as an intermediary in business mergers and acquisitions and sales. Like it could be manufacturing, it could be service business, distribution, food and beverage, hospitality. Yeah, all of the above.
Okay. Diana.
Good morning. I own a marketing and advertising business, so I write and produce radio and television commercials. I am the chairperson for Dodge County Tourism. I do that. I'm a property manager at a shopping center in beautiful Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. So everything I do it to help businesses promote their products or services with passion and purpose. So my goal, I'm a professional networker, so I'm always looking for people to connect with and to find value and significance that I can bring to other people.
Okay, great. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Long time no see. Unmute yourself, Bob, and share what you're doing.
I'm doing good. I enjoy coming to the EIB meetings. I haven't created any type of business yet. I'm working on more of a promotional business to help people promote their business, that kind of thing. That's kind of the goal I have right now. But I got a lot of things going on right now, and then just keeping an eye on EIB and future plans.
Okay, great.
Retired, but I want to start some things on the side.
Well, hopefully today's information will give you some ideas how to make that happen. Dan,
Sure.
just share your industry, and then I'm just going to go around and ask the next question. David next as well. Dan,
You want me now?
hey, go ahead, David. Dan, I don't
Okay.
heard me.
Oh, okay. My name is David Harley. I own Advanta Clean of Badgerland. We specialize in light environmental services. We do things like mold inspections, mold elimination and remediation. We do emergency water cleanup and drying, your basement floods, that sort of thing. We do odor control, odor elimination, and air duct cleaning in residences and commercial.
Okay.
Been in business about 2 years. That's about it.
Okay. Dan, go ahead real briefly.
In the financial services industry, work with a life insurance marketing organization and a business that helps businesses find unclaimed tax incentives.
Okay.
And working on building a team for both.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking this, because when I go through this, you'll see that what I'm sharing with it's universal, works in any industry, any business, any service, anything that you're doing if you want to grow your business. Brian, I see you there. Can you hear me? Brian, are you there? I'll move on. He has got his mic there. So let's talk a little bit about, I put out the newsletter. Marketing is more than just a logo and a slogan. And this is what a lot of is identifying your brand. This is the typical thing, your marketing strategy, advertising, logos, your design, your identity, strategies, trust, and value should be, this is what we've been traditionally. I'm not taking anything away from this. The question is, how can we take all these principles and be more effective in delivering our marketing message? How can we become more effective in developing your marketing strategy with a brand? Okay. Jim, what are you doing in marketing? What things are you doing in your marketing and advertising? Just, real briefly, what type of things?
What I do to market myself is a lot of what I'm doing right here. I just try to get in front of people and, do one-on-ones with them. I do live networking groups. Globally, our company does, they're out there on all the social media sites. They're on the business sites, things like that to market. Once I have a business, that's a whole different thing. We market that. That's pretty unique. We have to market confidentially. We have to tell people we've got something for sale, but we can't tell them what it is. So, we have to give them a broad brush to find out if we've got somebody interested. And once we've vetted them, then we can add then we can, bring them in and give us more confidential information on the business. We find those people through various means. Our marketing is multifaceted. We do a lot on the internet, on business transaction websites. We have a database that we mine and reach out to people in our database. We do email and direct mail, try and find what engage buyers and sellers.
Okay, good. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Dan, what are you doing on your marketing and branding strategies? What type of things are you doing?
Oh, it's trying a lot of different things right now. I've got somebody helping me with some social media posting. I guess that's the core of it. It's going to hopefully lead to some email marketing once I get set up for that. Yeah, and of course, trying to do the one-on-one networking one at a time.
Okay. Okay, great. Diana,
Yes, sir.
what are you doing in your marketing strategies?
Mine are pretty diverse. I spend a lot of my time helping other people define what their passion and purpose is. That is what I do. I sit down with them, find out what their vision is, where they want to go, and look and see what they've done before and how we can shift it now, because everything has changed. Everything changes pretty dramatically. So I'm very involved in electronic media. So I write and produce a lot of television and radio commercials, and keeping the message fresh is very important. I do a lot of event coordinating. I'm like Dan, I like to do one-on-one. I met with someone this morning just to figure out and be a good listener and figure out what the direction that they're moving in and how best I can help them fit what I do with what they do.
Okay. And then, is it David? Whoops. Is that? Hi, Greg. David, go ahead. What are you doing in your marketing? What type of things are you doing?
We're doing a number of things, doing a lot with pay-per-click advertising on Google, a lot of networking like everyone else is doing, BNI and various other groups, that sort of thing. Doing some digital marketing, some YouTube videos, social media. Not much in print right now, but I'm kind of always open to ideas. I use mailbox power to send gifts after a sale and thank you notes to customers and referrals and that sort of thing. So,
Okay. There's a forward thinker going right there, just one thing you said. So I'm going to cover that. Hi, Craig. How you doing? Can you hear me? Thumbs up, Craig. I guess he can't hear me. There we go. Yeah, so what I'm going to bring to attention today is all the things that you're doing are necessary in business. The question is, how can we make that activity more productive with less effort, less money, and get higher rates of return? And that rates of return is new clients, new revenue in your business. So we got to take a look at what we're currently doing and then what is happening. This is what's happening in business today. The new currency of business. We're going to cover those currencies and what they are and how you develop them so you increase your profits, increase your client base, bring more value, all the things that we're in business to do. So the new currency today is differentiality. What makes you different than your competitor? David, you're in a service business. There's other people that clean air ducts, right?
yes.
Jim, you're in a business to business, a sales business, consulting and all that. What's your differentiality? Craig, whatever you're doing, what's your differentiality? Dan, what is yours? These are questions you have to do. How are you positioning yourself into the marketplace differently than anybody else, that you stand out? Because if you don't get that clearly defined, you're not going to be able to communicate your message effectively. If I'm a CPA and I went to Stanford and another CPA went to Whitewater, guess what? They have the same knowledge base. They studied the same books, the same processes. There's no differentiality in a CPA. They're all doing the same thing. Why should I do business with Joe Smith CPA? And there's other factors than just your education, your knowledge, your experience, but your why you do what you do in business. I'm a big Simon Sinek person. People really don't care what you do and how you do it. They really care when you're building relationship in business. Why are you doing it? How can you benefit me? What is your story? What is the thing that caused you to do what you do? What is your work, your passion of your work? That's what people are seeking in business. We got the greatest air duct cleaning system in the world and blah, blah, blah. You know what? You're not the only one that has it. Why you? That is a very significant question. That takes a little bit of work. And me being a personal development coach, I've had people help me craft my why in what I do. And I'm very clear on that. And that's my communication when in and around my businesses. I know why I do what I do. And that draws the type of client I want to work with. How many of you had clients that you signed them on and you go, why did I sign them on? There was no alignment, no real why attached to it, all those things. So this will help you better understand how to do that.
Excuse me, Tom.
Yes, who's speaking?
Your point's really well taken. Can you please spell Simon's last name? There's various YouTubes.
Google him, you can't go wrong. He's the #1 guy in the Sinek, I'm not even know how to spell.
S-I-N-E-K.
S-I-N-E-K.
E-K.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
You are welcome very much.
He's probably the second most watched guy on YouTube.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Crafting, changing how you deliver your message in business is knowing your why. The currency of attention. The currency of attention. If you're in business and you don't have ways to draw attention to you and your why, your business, you're out. How do you get attention in the marketplace? I'm going to share some very significant, very simple things to do. Creates differentiality, draws attention to your why and what you're doing, so you book more appointments. So the currency of attention. Question, what are you doing to draw attention to you? Some of the things you shared are traditional, but I'm going to share with some things to draw differentiality to enhance and build that currency in your business. This is the biggest one. This has the highest payoff, the highest reward, the highest currency value in your business. It's the relationships that you create, either as clients or as people that work as advocates or referrals, is relationships. And how do you cultivate relationships? And it goes back to knowing your why. They align with you. How do you draw attention to each other? How do you collaborate together? So how are you going to build the relationships to grow your business? See, Tom Ginn can't do it by himself. Who do you want to build relationships with who will support and endorse you as a person, your why, and your business? How are you going to do that? So how do you increase your business currency? Differentiality, attention, and relationship. Those are the 3 new currencies in business. Before the old currency, I got a website. I use email. I post on Facebook, physical, I do this, I do that. That's old currency. That currency is not working. That currency is not working. It doesn't have the same value it did 2 years ago. Things have changed rapidly in this marketing space. So questions you may have: how do you build a relation with customers and clients and the business and your business services? I mentioned that in the email. Your brand isn't your logo, the colors, the fonts. What is it? It's those three things that I just shared with you. Do people really understand what you do when you build that relationship tied with your why? Do they really understand what you do? Is your messaging confusing? Is your messaging confusing? How much is that costing you? Creating a human bond through brand solutions. I'm going to reveal some of the things to you that the true marketers are doing, the true business people are dominating their space with three simple things. And it's about creating those three currencies and how you do it. So I already asked this, what are you doing in your marketing? I've heard this predominantly the same things that I've done. I still use it. Question is, how can I enhance those to get a bigger ROI? Like Chuck says, you want to work more ease, work less to make more money. So if you had ways, and like Chuck also shares, systems run your business. If you can do some of these things and create systems that reduce your cost, increase your volume, building all your relationships, it'd make a lot of sense to look into it. You'd probably agree. Here is, I'm going to go through this, communicating your why. That's the number one thing. You know, Jim, why do you do what you do?
I like doing it.
Okay, but that's one thing. But if you're going to communicate to me, trying to influence me to create dialogue with you,
Right.
how much deeper? So you have to go deeper in that than I just like doing it. I have a passion for it. Why do you have the passion for it? What do you love about it? What do you get enjoyment helping somebody? See, in business, we're there to solve people's problems, right?
Right. Well, I enjoy talking to other business people. I've been a business person myself. Twice I've owned businesses. I love talking to other business people. They've got a need to get it in or out of a business, and I've got the expertise to help them through that process and do it as seamlessly and as smooth as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's why I like doing it. And I like the result. I like the satisfaction once everything's said and done and everybody walks away and they're happy with what's happened through the entire transaction.
Yeah.
You know, and I get feedback and, you know, somebody says, hey, you know, we couldn't have got this done without you. Man, you did a great job for us. I mean, that's satisfaction. That's what keeps me coming to work, and that's why I do it. And obviously there's a need for it. There's people out there that need help with it because it's not something that someone does on a regular basis. You know, someone owns a business, they know how to run a business, but they don't know how to sell it, you know, so.
And lots of times the reason they can't sell it, they haven't connected with somebody at a relationship level, because that's where the transaction occurs, is at the relationship at an emotional level to your why, that you've been through it, you solve people's problems. I'm here to support you, not about supporting me. If we miscommunicate that in our messaging, you're not going to close the deal. It always comes back, what's in it for me, the customer. And that's that personal bonding and relationship closes the deal. Not your know-how, your experience, the spreadsheets you show, and all the solutions that you may put in front of somebody. We've probably all seen it. Put the best case out there and people walk away. You wonder, how did that happen? There may be a lot of reasons, but probably I would say the biggest one, you didn't connect at an emotional level on the front end. And that's
as a lifetime salesperson, I can tell you that every buying decision is an emotional decision.
Exactly.
Logic simply justifies the solution, the decision you made. You know, I bought this Lamborghini because I need a car. Well, you can buy a car for $15,000, if less than that if you buy an old used one. When I sold Steinway pianos, nobody needed to spend $50,000 for a piano. Nobody even needs a piano. They want one. So, and our wants are driven by our feelings and our emotions. And so buying decisions, so you need to connect emotionally, and you connect emotionally through the relationships that Tom is talking about. And that's where the money is. That's where you bring the greatest value to people, when you can connect with them on a feeling level. And of course, anybody who does this reaps the benefits of more sales, and they reap the benefit, as the word gets out, of having other people send more people to you because of how you made them feel. People were never, they don't remember what you said often, but they never forget how you made them feel. So when I finish with it's interesting because I've just started a couple new people in my program, and at the end of the session, I always ask this question. So what do you feel, what are you taking away today that you didn't have when you walked in here? And the answer that I got from both of these people is hope. I have hope that things can get better. That's a feeling. That's a stress reliever. And they're walking out of there with hope that they didn't have when they come in. And it makes me, you know, I'm on the ceiling when I hear that, because I know that I've connected with them emotionally.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Chuck. So the why goes more than it goes deep, and it's how do you connect with people in emotion authentically, transparency, your vulnerability, those types. That's what people are buying in business. Even in a service business where you're cleaning plumbing or whatever the case is, when you connect at an emotional level in your marketing, you're going to go a lot further.
So
here's
the question you want to ask yourself as you implement this, because it's one thing to hear about it and another thing to implement it. Ask yourself the question, how do you want your clients to feel after they have met with you or after they've bought the product? How do you want them to feel? Because the product is just a thing. How do they feel when they get into that Lamborghini? How do they feel when they sit down at a Steinway piano? How do they feel when they've dealt with you and you've cared about them? How do you want your client to feel? Because when you figure that out, you'll figure out the way to connect with them emotionally, not just on a tactical level of a financial transaction. How do you want them to feel is a high payoff activity for you to decide how you want them to feel, and then tell them that this is what you do to make them feel that way. And there's the emotional connection that lights their fire.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. Second point, the power of video. How many of you, just show of hands, are using video in any of your marketing? Show of hands. Video should be the number one means of communicating with your audience. Number one in everything you do. Okay. How many of you are live streaming, doing something, going live to promote value to the marketplace, like your own TV station? How many people are live streaming daily? Differentiating, because I'm going to share some facts with you and what's happening with live streaming. If you're not live streaming in business, even if you have a local business, if you're not live streaming and sharing your value, what you bring to the marketplace, your expertise, you're going to get left behind. Those that are live streaming are going to dominate their marketplaces, locally or nationally. This is the beauty of technology. You can create your own TV and marketing advertising company in a very simple way through live streaming. And I'm associated probably with the best teacher in the world in live streaming and what's doing in my business. Okay. Don't overlook it. Emails. Well, email is still a very effective marketing tool, but here I'll cover some facts here in a moment. I'll cover some facts about videos. So you start putting the logic and reason why you should be doing these things. Videos and emails, not redirects, not a link to someplace else, but a living video in your email that when they click on it, you say, hey, I'm glad we met at the networking meeting 2 hours ago. Let's get together. How many are you using videos in communicating with in your emails? You're missing the boat. You'll get more opens. And David mentioned it, the power of the mailbox. He's using a system that I'm involved with through the same group of people, Mailbox Power. The power of getting something in somebody's mailbox. We are overwhelmed with digital overload. You need to use all things, but now how are you going to differentiate yourself and create that formula to get higher return on your time, money, and the return is new client development, right? So if you apply 1 through 5 and integrate these things that I'm going to share with you a little more specifically, you would dramatically improve your ROI, your bottom line, save you time as well. How long does it take, Jim, if you were to type out a email to me, we met in a networking group, we had good conversation. How long would it take you to type up an email saying, thank you, it was nice meeting you?
Couple minutes.
Couple, 3 minutes. If you can make those type of communications in 15 to 30 seconds, and make it more personal, would it make more sense? Time-wise?
Probably.
Guess what? I may open up your email. I may read it. Statistically, I'm not going to open it. How would you like to have 100% open rate on your emails? Okay, so I'm going to share that. So let's take a look. Live streaming, video, mailbox, and utilizing these resources that you can run. Some of this you can run right through your social media marketing in one application. You don't have to have 5 different things. So you can use the new normal for marketing is streaming, video, and something in somebody's mailbox. Let's talk about some facts. Live streaming statistics. 80% of consumers would rather watch a video, a live video, that's the key, a live video, than reading a blog or a live video. Video streaming is expected to account for 82% of internet traffic, and that was in 2020. And it's already moving in that direction. Consumers are 39% more likely to share a video than any other content. Hey, you need to see Jim. His message is powerful. He might be the right guy for you. He'll share a video. Consumers would pay for live exclusive videos from their favorites. They will buy your content off the videos. Millennials are the largest consumers and creators of live videos. What do they know that we don't? They're technology savvy. Facebook is the most commonly listed platform for live consumption. 60% of the 100 most popular YouTube live streams happened in the past 2 years. And you can be doing the same thing in your marketing strategy on a local, national basis, wherever your reach is in your business. Let's talk about emails. 11% of emails are even opened. And I have tracking on my emails through my Gmail when somebody opens and clicks on a link. So I know. And we all look at your behavior when you get up in the morning. You go to your email, hit the office, and you got what? And some of these people you know and you want to respond to, but you got different priorities. Delete, 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 read, delete, 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 read. 11% even get opened, let alone content. If it's a long content, they're not reading it. people are not reading. So if you can message that with a video, putting a video, letting them know there's a personal video, a personal message in video, 60 to 80% open rates. So think about that in business and marketing. If you send out 10 marketing emails to people you met networks or existing clients, and you increase the open rate 60, 80%, what would that do for your bottom line over time? Business is a numbers game. Make them work for you. I'd rather have 60 to 80% with a video in it. That's a solution to get more opens, more communication, more powerful communication, more relationship building communication than through text. I tell you what, it takes a specialized person to write content to get a message across. And I don't think anybody in this room fits that quite, except maybe Diana writing ad copy, okay? Videos are for real. If you think it's just a fad, it's not a fad. It's an engagement platform, personal engagement. And they can respond with the system I use, they can respond right back with a video. What they're finding with video, it develops a relationship with clients quicker. One testimonial of a person's using video in his company is a B2B business. His normal sales cycle was 90 days. He implemented video with all his staff, his people, in all their communication, even the accountant, using video. They cut the sales cycle by 50%, 45 days. They doubled their income as a company without changing a whole lot. So even on a personal basis, what would that do? If you can increase your engagement with your prospect by 50%, cut that cycle in half. Every business has a sales cycle, a turn cycle, or whatever the case you want to call it. So think about that by using video and enhancing your communication. What would happen if you had a way to get 100% open rate and somebody reads your message? That's better than 11. That's better than 80, right? Okay, so I'm looking up here. So this is an area. How many people have done direct mail marketing in the past? Okay, what's the problem with direct mail marketing? For the average?
Return rates.
It's still one of the most effective marketing tools out there. The biggest problem for most business people is it's expensive. They got to have somebody craft their marketing message. They got to get it printed. They got to order 1,000. They got to then put the marketing piece out. But the statistics show, this is why you still get the junk mail. And this is what they know. Direct mail, just postcards, stays in that person's home 17 days. If the marketing message is personal, it stays longer and you get called. So the power of mailbox. The next thing to do is if you get something that comes in an envelope, and it's personalized to you, what's your chances of opening that? Almost 100%. Now you've got a personal relationship going on. You met somebody in a network meeting. You send them an email with a video. It's a pleasure meeting you. And 3 days later, they also get a personal card saying, hey, Mike, it was really a great time meeting at the network meeting with his name in it, a branded piece from you. Guess what you are at that point? You've gone above and beyond what 98% of people do in business. We all have intention to write notes and send cards, do all that stuff, right? But why don't we do it? It takes time, it takes money, you got to run to the post office, you got to buy cards, all those things. So the power of the mailbox is when you understand how to integrate it in other elements of your marketing, you're going to get greater return with that. See, the reason, and there's psychology, marketing psychology. And I'm just using Jim because he's centered right here on my screen. So Jim, if I just met you today and we had some good dialogue at a networking event or whatever the case may be, and I sent you a personal email with a video, what does that do? What's your perception of my interest and your interest in me at that point?
Well, the fact that you took the time to follow up with me means something. I'm gonna be brutally frank with you. A lot of times I get those videos, I don't watch them. I don't have time to watch them.
We're talking
I'm
about
old school.
I'm gonna share with you, it's a totally different video than what you're thinking.
Okay,
It's you actually talking, hey, Mike, or Jim, it was great meeting you today. Boom. It's not a canned sales pitch video.
yeah,
It's that instead of typing it out, boom, you're now bonding with somebody quicker than text. Okay. So that video interaction is a psychological thing. Just understand the psychology that it does. And then 2 to 3 days later, you get in the mail, say, Jim, it was a pleasure to meet you, something personalized to you. And guess what that does psychologically? You went out of your way. There's you become top of mind. The key in marketing, and if you look at all the major marketers in the world, they're top of mind. It's the repetition, the powerful emotional messages. They're using video. They're touching people emotional levels. You could be doing the same thing right off your desktop without any production cost or anything like that. Okay. So the power of giving, that has a site. And what happens when you get a card or you get a little value added gift for appreciation, like a mug? All my people that come in that I interview on my live stream, they get a personalized branded cup for me. Guess what? Every morning now I'm top of mind. I'm top of mind every day. So, and what happens in marketing and building relationships, even with advocates for your business, if you stay top of mind, the power of reciprocating. When we get a gift, we get something you've gone out of the way, we have an inherent subconscious thing to give back. They will schedule an appointment if you have a call to action. The psychological shift is huge. Marketers know this. You don't have to be a psychologist to figure this out. But if I sent you a mug and a cup for having a lunch together, I really appreciate what you gave me. This is my what's the value of your customer? Are you willing to spend $1, $2 to get a new client? Are you willing to spend $10 or $20 to retain a $10,000 a year client? Of course you are. You just make it part of your marketing budget. What's the value of your customer? What are you willing to do in that? So a personalized gift or a card is worth 1,000 emails. It gets in their hand, they read it, and then you're top of mind. And if you had a system that could do that very cost effectively and automated, you can definitely change how you position yourself with your existing clients, future prospects, with direct mail. I won't get into all the specifics, the power of the programs I'm using. I'm going to give you those resources so you can explore them yourself, okay? But I want to have you start looking at what's going on and ask yourself, what am I doing? Direct mail works. Biggest problem with most direct mail, you can't do one-offs. You got to do mass. If you had a system that allowed you to do one-off direct mail, a postcard or a card customized, branded to you, that's huge. One-offs. Or you can set up big campaigns with the program. Demographically search and market to your ideal client, no matter what your business is, because it has that feature to, you can actually identify your client down to the color of their eyes almost, okay, with some of the features within the program. It builds differentiality, it builds relationships, and builds likability. People do business with people they like and trust. So you're building that factor quicker. Here's the new normal in marketing. Take a look at what you're doing, and you don't have to implement them all at once, but I would encourage you to say, where can I use live streaming in my business? Well, I'll share with you some of the things that people are doing and how they're blowing their business up. I've got a friend of mine in San Jose, California, realtor. How is live streaming going to help me sell more homes? He isn't selling homes. He's daily puts out a little live stream on information that separates him from everybody else that are other realtors. He's the expert in San Jose. What's going on with mortgage rates? 5-10 minute messages daily out in a live stream. Guess what? He's got following. People are searching. Oh, that's the guy that has that daily program on real estate, mortgages, insurance, all those things. And guess what? His real estate business is exploding. Exploding. He's now become the #1 Keller Williams salesperson in San Jose in 6 months. Live streaming, principle one. And it worked. I've got a friend of mine that she sells solar. And every day she goes on to sell something about solar. She's increased her sales from $500,000 to over $2 million in 6 months through live streaming. Interesting concept. Video content. What do you put out? How do you put it out? How can you create content of value quickly on the fly without production? One of the programs can do that. You can then put it right into your LinkedIn marketing. You can put stuff in your email. You can create a sales page with videos right from one platform. Email video, what I just shared. I just met Jim. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you. Hey, a quick video for you. Let's get together for coffee again. Boom. Versus something typed, right? And usually we get too busy. I can do this on the fly. So a lot of times when I'm talking this, yeah, we got all the marketing strategies, the traditional ways. How do we enhance that? So what are you thinking? First thing I hear from people when I'm talking about this process, I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. Either was I. I was comfortable standing on a stage or talking, but putting me in front of a camera, I'm getting better. You just get better by doing, and you forget it's a camera. And so what I tell people in my coaching, just get over it. Just get over it. It's just a mindset. You're going to be fine. Don't judge yourself. You see yourself differently than everybody else sees you in this world. But if you want to be successful, you got to get comfortable with this thing called the camera. I don't have the time to learn something new. I don't have the time to do a video. I don't have time. Well, guess what? Your priorities are not in the right place. If you're looking to increase your revenues, you'll find the time necessary to do a 5-minute video or a 3-minute video on the fly. I don't have to set up production. I don't have the time to learn something. Guess what? It's intuitive, simple. Okay. I can't afford anything else. How many people are spending money in marketing? I spend a lot of money in my business, okay? But I'm cutting my costs down because I found a more effective way to get my message and my appointments getting up in my other businesses. I can't afford anything else. Just look into this and just reassess where your dollars are spent to get a better bang for your buck. You're not adding, you're just enhancing. Some of the things you're doing you're spending a lot of money, not getting a high rate of return. Something new to learn. I'm good at, it's all good. I'm good with what I'm doing. I'm satisfied. That may last a little while, but when the market is shifting in a big way and you haven't moved with it, you're just that much further behind. You either have to adapt in business. A lot of people are using the word pivot. I don't believe pivot's the right word because that means one foot's planted, you're just going in a circle. You need to adapt and move as markets and trends are in business in that area. Here are the systems I use, and I put them in the chat. You can copy and swipe to find out more about them. Full disclosure, I use them in my business. I do 2 live streams, programs a week. Every day I do something in my coaching business called G-Force. It's about gratitude and the mindset of developing yourself a stronger mindset. Hippo Video. How many people have heard of Hippo Video? How many people have heard of Jeffrey Gittimore? Jeffrey Gittimore is the predominant player behind this. He teaches and trains that he's recognized #1 sales trainer in the world. #1 best-selling author on the New York best-selling, 157 weeks. I'm being trained by him. He comes in and I'm not paying for it. That's a beautiful thing. Just the relationships I have with a few other people. This is a game changer, Hippo Video, and how diverse it is. And then David said he mentioned mailbox power, right? So I know he's en route someplace to a job, but these are the 3 elements. If you incorporate them in your business strategically and apply it, you will start seeing different results. Chuck, what is the result you would want to get out of your marketing? What's the #1 thing that you want to see with your marketing efforts?
Awareness. I need my target market to be aware of what I do so that they can chase me, because the concept that I teach in my program is get the fish to chase the boat. Marketing to get the fish to chase the boat. I tell people I'm way too old to spend any time, nor do I have any energy to chase anybody for any reason. I have a physical need not to exhaust myself chasing business. I need to save my energy for delivering what I can do after all these years of learning the good, the bad, and the ugly about being in business. And by the way, I want to share with you a video that you can go to on YouTube. And the guy's name is Matthew Kelly, Matthew Kelly, Kelly. And the topic is energy. And what he says is, one of my 12 modules is time. Time is the most valuable resource we have. You've heard me say 23,375, the number of days you'll be on this planet if you're 75. Well, I'll be 75 in a couple of weeks. So my time is exhausted in terms of that model. So I'm in the bonus round. What can I do to increase the influence I have, the effect that I can have on lives, so that as many people get the benefit of what I have to bring to the table before I stop breathing? That's a panic for me. That's a passion for me. I'm sorry. So this awareness, getting people to be aware, is critical. So all of these tools are ones that I'm going to use to accelerate the ability for me to connect with people and have them become aware of what I do. So that video, by the way, says time is not the most important thing. Energy is the most important thing, because everybody's given 168 hours a week. We all have the same 168 hours a week. We have the same 7 days a week. We have the same 20. If we're fortunate enough to live to 75, we'll have the same 27,375 days. Some people become billionaires in that time, and some people wind up on food stamps in that time. We all have the same time. What did you do with it? And that has to do with the energy that you put forth, the energy that you created around what you do. It's energy is the differentiator.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck, because all this does is a energy platform, best way to put it. It puts you out in a state where people can chase you. You can use these principles to market your geographic area, or if you have a business, you expand your reach nationally. Live streaming is a great way to do it. The real estate person that I know that's using StreamYard, incredible. Another gentleman using Mailbox Power, built in his budget, 2,000 with direct mail, 2 FISBOs and expired listings with direct mail, and email, video email. That $2,000 equated just in that marketing campaign, $4 million in new real estate sales. Him being a broker, that's a what? 6% of 4 million is $240,000 increase, and he didn't have to work harder to get it. You can do the same things in your business. Doesn't make any difference what the business is. Become more efficient getting people to chase you. StreamYard. Chuck's going to be on my program next Monday night. You can go to Tom Ginn on Facebook, turn on your notifications. I'll be interviewing Chuck to the world.
So here's what I want you to know. Sooner or later, if you're lucky, you're all going to get to be 75. You're younger than that. You've got time that I don't have to put these things in place and accelerate the dickens out of the results you get. This stuff gets me really excited for you because you have time that I don't have.
Yeah.
Now I'll go change the world.
That's it. Well, Chuck, that's it. I put this in the chat. This is recorded, but if you want to copy and paste this or whatever, you can reach out to me to get this information. I always, full disclosure, I'm using these systems. I'm seeing the results. They're so good, I became affiliates and not network marketing. If you signed up with, if Chuck was to sign up in any of these programs, yes, I get a commission. Huh, that's interesting. I'm an MS guy. So if I find something good, I want to share it with other business people. If they utilize it and get the results I'm getting, I've done a great service. And guess what? I get paid.
And there's nothing wrong, by the way, with somebody getting paid for helping you accelerate. Nothing wrong with that. You pay a little money and you get big results, drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
In terms of what it costs compared to what you get.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and we're not talking thousands of dollars of marketing cost. I'm talking maybe $40, $50 a month in any one of these programs. They could generate thousands of dollars of revenue in a very short period of time.
I like to tell people that when I see their financials, I will find you more money on your financials that you are wasting right now between the top line and the bottom line that it's going to cost you to hire me. So it's not going to cost you anything to hire me. We're just going to put a stop to some of the money that you're wasting and getting no return on and turn that into something that can accelerate the results you get. So the net cost of hiring me is zero. Same thing with this. The net cost of doing these things, zero, because the money's going to chase you down if you do these things. So take it from a guy who wishes that I had another life to live. Take advantage of the things that can accelerate your results.
Chuck, we'll wrap up. Any questions anybody have real quick, and then we'll, because everybody's on hard stops here too. So.
Yeah, Tom, I came in about halfway through your presentation. I think you just mentioned it a minute ago. Where can I gain access to this PowerPoint so I can absorb a little bit all the information that you've shared?
Who's speaking?
Craig.
Just email me, and you got my email, Craig?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, just email. I'll shoot off this.
Thank you.
If you want the video, I can send the video too. So I'll convert it to YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
So somebody tell me what you're taking away here that you're actually going to do that will make a difference for you. Who's going to do something? Actually take an action here.
I'm planning on meeting with you, Chuck.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, you've been given some options here that if you take action, you will get results. And delivering that kind of information to you is the best we can do. You have to take the action. And I hope you will, because I'm going to do it.
Hey, Chuck, are you writing a book or not?
Yeah, I am getting really, I'm actually doing it.
Good. We need your book.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you much. And no more questions. Signing out. You all know how to get a hold of me or Chuck. everybody have a profitable day, intentional day.
Thanks,
And
everybody.
look for the
Yeah,
new
thank you.
normal.
Thank
That
you.
was good. Great.
Mm.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, guys.